real success, true success, meaningful success, the only success, is the success of the character to try its best with a pure heart and release every intention of succeeding. Because success itself is not the outcome. Success is not the goal. If you point to a direction, you try to succeed in something, you usually try to do that by taking the measures and taking action and trying. And this attempt is your success. The road itself is your success, because the road is the only thing real. The moment is the only real appearance of the illusion. The moment itself also is an illusion and is empty. But when you try and you measure your success, if you reached your goal or not, you have failed, because the actual meaning of what you tried to do was not in the outcome, it was in the process. It's always the thing itself, it is always what is really happening, the process. Many people are discouraged and frustrated because they do not succeed as well as they wished, or they do not reach the things that they aimed to reach, and so in their perception they have failed because they didn't reach the goal. They failed. The realization of the result not counting is a big one. It's a huge one. If you try to realize that it really doesn't matter if you succeeded or not. Of course, it would be nicer for you to succeed and rejoice and be happy that all your intentions were fulfilled. But it's not always the plan you have planned for yourself. Sometimes you planned for yourself to fail and to learn something in this process that will serve you in other attempts, different attempts. Maybe the only thing you will learn is not to give up and try again. Maybe this is the only reason you have failed in the first place. Failed. And so the process itself teaches the character many things that she wouldn't learn if she would be just on the highway to success and everything would go smoothly and she would aim there and she would be there and everything would be so easy. Nothing would happen. So the process, the story, the road forces the character to evolve, of course. And this is the real meaning of success, the evolution of the character. People want to succeed in their relationships, in their career, in their lives. They want to be successful. But sometimes they measure themselves, and usually people measure themselves and the level of their success based on what they think success is or what they see in other people's life, and of course in the media that shapes the understanding of a person of how he should look and what he should be doing and what are the parameters of success. If you check yourself by these parameters that are really deformed, really warped of the social media and in general society, what she counts as success, of course this kind of success doesn't match all the people. There are different kinds of success, And not all of them, and most of them, are not what is represented as success in the media or through the social nets. So you cannot compare yourself to the success of others. Of course, I'm saying things that I think you don't need to say them. It's so obvious. Of course, your success is going to be different than other people's success. Your story is different. Your path is different. Your plan is different. And you should, if you compare yourself to the stories and paths of others, you may feel like you are less successful, but it was never your story. It was not in your cards to be successful in that way. For example, to be rich beyond imagination. This is a successful man who made a fortune, and why can I be like him and be successful? Because this is a story about a very rich person, and yours is not. So what? Does it make you less successful than him? He may be very rich and unsuccessful, because success, true success, meaningful success, real success, has nothing to do with outer parameters. It only has to do with the character itself, how it goes through the journey, what she learns, and how it evolves to be her highest potential in the story. So he can have millions of dollars and not be a successful person because he has learned nothing. Money is monopoly money. It's nothing. It has no meaning. It's only an illusion in the story, very powerful illusion, but still, it's like so unreasonable to think of money as a parameter to success, or at things you own, houses or cars, or if you have like a social standard, like you are very acceptable, or you're a minister, or someone that people look up to. Sometimes people who reach these places of high influence, they don't deserve to be there, and they serve as an example on how not to act, on what success doesn't look like, because he can be a minister, he can be a prime minister. In Israel, the prime minister is not a successful person. He fails in everything he does as a person. So it doesn't matter if he's a prime minister, he's unsuccessful. He's a laughingstock. And he's so unaware of himself, so he cannot evolve, because he's so full of himself, because he's so successful. So this kind of success is dangerous to some people. They think, okay, I'm a successful person because, you see, the reflection, and society reflects that I succeeded, I won, I'm powerful, I am stronger than other people, I have influence. Does it mean that they are successful? No, only in the story for children. Or it's very naive to think that these kind of people are successful. Because true success and meaningful success and real success is kindness, is love, is being able to do what you do with passion and commitment, and trying your best, and even failing in the process, and even failing in the result. But the heart is so pure, the intention is good. It's not for the ego, for something for me to be successful, so I can be rich, so I can be powerful, so people can see me, so I will be comfortable or have things that I do not have. This materialistic kind of success is is not a success. It's a low inability to look at what's really important. You are not able to distinguish what is important, what is not important, and you mark materialistic stuff as important, and then when you don't reach this goal of being rich and having this kind of success, you feel like you failed. But you have not failed. This receiving and being materialistically rich is not connected to your higher self. It's not connected to who you are, to what this thing is trying to wake you up to, and so you are a complete failure. There are people who seem in the eyes of society as success stories, and they are complete failures in their lives, in their relationships, in what they contribute to society. Because if someone is very successful and he doesn't contribute back to society or uses his power to make this world a better place, just like in the song from Michael Jackson, make it a better place. If you have the ability, why don't you do that? If you do not do that, you are a complete failure. And most of the people who reach this kind of false success are failing in the most important thing of rising into what their potential is. They have so much responsibility because they have power, they have the money. And to use the money for themselves and their own egoistical needs and small petty things is to waste such enormous powers. So they are utter failures. These kind of people do not deserve respect, or for you to think that they are something to look up to or to. Failing is being untrue to yourself. Failing is following others. Failing is being disappointed that the ego didn't get what it wanted. Failing is wanting something that you don't have, like materialistic stuff, like a car or something, and being obsessed with it like it's going to save you or save yourself, and not knowing that when you have this thing, this empty place inside you will not be filled. You will not feel like you have succeeded. You will want something else. And again, this is why it's a constant failure, not being able to be rich with what you have. In Hebrew, we have a saying, who is a rich one, who knows how to be joyful with his part, happy with his part. When you have something, you are happy with what you have, and you are rich. So failing is this egotistic need to have something for yourself, which is not related to this oneness, and just hanging so hard through the process that you get. You do that. Sometimes you use people to get to your goal, and this is the worst thing you can do. It will not make you a success story. It will make you something to be ashamed of if you do that, if you use others to be successful with the wrong intentions. So be careful, because a pure heart is needed to be really successful. All nothingness, oneness is one. So the only way you can succeed, really succeed, is to give yourself. And when you try to succeed on the expense of others, you basically do the worst thing you can do in order to succeed. You fail. But if you do try and do act in the way that looks at everything as if it was you, you really understand what success is really all about. True success, meaningful success, real success can be embodied in the most plain characters possible. in the most daily activities possible, in the most humble people, that society will look at them and will say, oh, they are in the fringe, they are not, they have no importance, but they are really successful. And they are doing that by being themselves as the character and aspiring to do good. Because a person who works in a grocery store and is managing it with love and passion and enjoys it, and he becomes like a center for the people around him, and he knows everyone, and he gives to the one who doesn't have any money, or he smiles to the old lonely lady. This person, and he returns home to his wife and being a good father to his children, or just if he doesn't have a wife or children, just planting trees or helping something in his environment. This man is a success story. He's very successful. He's rich inside. It amazes me that people still think in that manner, that success has anything to do with the result or with the outcome of something that society thinks and believes is valuable. First, it's not. What society thinks should not be your compass, should not lead you. Should look at yourself and check for yourself what are your values, what are the things that are important to you, and who are you. And disregard what the media says about what you should do. And releasing the thought that only if I reach the goal, then this is a success story, is very, very liberating. If you try, and you tried your best, and you failed, you have done amazingly, and it is a success. And you can always try again, or in a different way, and never be discouraged by the fact that what you have done has not happened. In Israel, we have like a tradition. When someone gets married, the religion people, they believe that the bride or the groom has the power to bless people around them. So many times in weddings, people come to the bride and the groom and asks for a blessing. And I remember in my wedding, my aunt Rachel, she was a very powerful woman, she is. And she came up to me and she says, bless my son, bless my son. And so I said, okay, I'm blessing him so he would be happy and healthy and succeed in his life. And she says, no, bless him that he will marry this woman and work in this field and have a house. And she said, where? And she asked me specific things, how to bless him so it will be a blessing. And I said, okay. And I repeated what she asked, but it's not a real blessing, because we cannot force the thing, the story, to be what we think it is. We may want to have, to start a business and that many people will follow us and the business will grow. And the business is not doing so well. It remains small. And sometimes this is the process we have to go through to learn what we have to learn. And maybe we are meant to run a small business and not a big one. The most successful people I know have a smile on their faces. They are always kind and loving and generous with their time, with their intention. And you can be rich and very successful spiritually and be a person that other people look up to, because money is also a very blessed thing if you know how to manage it and use it, and so you can have the influence and be a successful person and a rich one. And I know successful people who are just plain ordinary people who are living their lives. I don't measure success in the way society does, and I strongly suggest you do not do that. Don't judge success by these unhealthy parameters. Look, what is success? What is this thing? And being in the moment, the illusory moment, and acting inside the moment, trying your best, is a huge success story. Not giving up, it's a huge success story for you to keep trying, to find new ways, to be creative. You are being successful because you are trying to be better. This is it. Just the attempt. Just try. With all your heart, of course. With all your might, with all your love. Just try your best. And this is enough. If the outcome is what you planned, oh, it was meant to be. This was the plan. If it's not, oh, it's meant to be. This is the beauty of the whole thing. That it is not related to anything that is not you, your true nature and self, your true, quiet, blissful, empty thing that is always just aspiring to express itself, and it's not aspiring, it is expressing itself very lovingly through a seemed expression. It is not an expression, it's an appearance of an expression, which is you. We are an appearance of an expression, not an expression, because expression is a thing itself. It's an appearance of an expression. And this appearance of an expression has a beautiful story, which is only yours. So many beautiful, different, unique success stories. One of them is your story. It has nothing to do if you are successful in the eyes of society or not. The only thing it requires, the only true success, meaningful success, real success, is the ability to express the appearance of your expression in the best way possible. Try the best you can. This is an enormous success.